Welcome to Keentel Engineering. Today we are walking through transmission line modeling in PSCAD. From choosing the right line representation, to tower geometry, to validating with the Ferranti effect. Our worked example is a 100-kilometer, 230 kilovolt overhead line built as a Bergeron model. By the end, you will know how to select the correct model for the study, set up the geometry that drives the electrical parameters, and verify the build before any serious analysis begins. A transmission line is never just an impedance between two buses. It is a distributed network of inductance, capacitance, and resistance whose behavior changes with frequency, geometry, and length. And how you represent it in PSCAD determines whether your results are meaningful. Choose too simple a model, and you miss the traveling wave behavior behind switching surges and temporary overvoltages. Choose the right one and configure it correctly, and a single line model can tell you whether an extra high-voltage circuit will overstress equipment at no load, how a breaker sees recovery voltage, or how a corridor interacts with nearby inverter-based resources. This guide covers model selection, segment and geometry setup, interface and source configuration, and Ferranti effect validation. We use Bergeron throughout because the Ferranti effect is a fundamental frequency phenomenon a single frequency model captures well. PSCAD offers 3 line model families, and they are not interchangeable. The PI section is a lumped parameter model, correct at the fundamental frequency only. It cannot represent other frequencies without cascading many sections, and it is reserved for very short lines where traveling wave models cannot be applied. The Bergeron model is a distributed traveling wave representation with resistance lumped at the ends. All parameters are computed at one specified frequency, making it ideal for load flow, relay studies, and power frequency over voltage work. The frequency-dependent phase model is the most accurate option. It distributes resistance with inductance and capacitance and solves parameters across a wide frequency band, capturing attenuation and unbalanced geometries single frequency models miss. PSCAD's own guidance is that this should be the default for new line and cable studies. The rule is simple: match the model to the phenomenon. For broadband transient work, switching surges, lightning, harmonics, EMT interconnection, default to the frequency-dependent phase model. It costs more solve time, but that accuracy is necessary where wideband behavior matters. For fundamental frequency work, load flow, relay reach, and the no-load Ferranti check, Bergeron is appropriate and faster. Parameters compute exactly at the specified power frequency. The PI section stays reserved for very short segments. The table on screen captures the full decision: PI for very short lines, Bergeron for power frequency work, frequency-dependent phase for everything broadband. The build has 7 steps. Here are the first 3. Step 1. Place the transmission segment. Drop in a T-line segment and name it. This example uses T-line. That name is how PSCAD links the segment to its interfaces. Step 2. Edit the segment parameters. Set the name, system frequency, length at 100 kilometers, and conductor count. 3. For a 3-phase single-circuit line, ground wires raise the count. Termination style sets how the segment connects to the network. This example uses remote ends. Step 3. Select the Bergeron model. Open Edit Definition. Delete the default frequency-dependent object. Right-click, choose Transmission Model, and select Bergeron. No further configuration is needed. Step 4 is where the physics lives. Conductor spacing and height set each phase's series inductance and shunt capacitance, and therefore the surge impedance, charging current and no-load voltage rise. 2 lines of identical length and voltage with different tower geometry will not behave the same. Getting the cross-section right is getting the physics right. This example uses the universal tower with Chukar conductor, a standard ACSR type. All 3-phase conductors sit at 30 meters in a horizontal arrangement, center phase at the tower center line, outer phases 5 meters to each side. 2 ground wires sit at 40 meters, symmetrically above the phases for lightning shielding. Steps 5 through 7 close the loop. Step 5. Add T-line interfaces. Place 1 at each end, give both the same name, T-line, and set conductor count to 3. PSCAD links interfaces to the segment by name, not schematic position. Mirror the second interface. Step 6. Convert 3-phase to single line. Insert a 3-phase to single line converter at each end, wire through in wire mode, mirror the receiving side unit. The corridor now runs from bus 1 to bus 2. Step 7. Configure the source. Add a 230 kilovolt voltage source at the sending end, 100 megavolt ampere rating, frequency matched to the segment, set as an ideal bus. Holding the sending end voltage firm isolates what the line does to the open receiving end, exactly the condition the Ferranti check measures. The Ferranti effect is the canonical no-load check for a long line or cable. With bus 2 open and no load connected, the line's distributed capacitance draws a leading charging current through its series inductance. That current raises the receiving end voltage above the sending end voltage. The longer the line and the higher its capacitance, the larger the rise. Cables with far greater capacitance per kilometer than overhead lines show the effect at much shorter lengths. To observe it, meter RMS voltage at both ends, EA1 at bus 1, EA2 at bus 2, run at no load, and compare. A correctly built model shows EA2 greater than EA1. Because this is a steady-state fundamental frequency phenomenon, Bergeron represents it faithfully. No-load voltage rise drives real engineering decisions on every project involving long lines. Shunt reactor sizing depends on how much charging reactive power the line produces at no load. Temporary overvoltage withstand for insulation coordination requires knowing how high the receiving end voltage can climb. Energization and switching sequences are built around that same rise profile, and confirming that equipment at the open end is not overstressed before energization requires a validated model. From here, plot EA1 and EA2 over time, quantify the per unit rise, then iterate, adding shunt compensation, testing energization transients with the frequency-dependent model, or sweeping line length to build a full overvoltage and compensation study from this single validated corridor. Now, the most common questions on PSCAD transmission line modeling. Why does PSCAD recommend the frequency-dependent phase model? It distributes resistance with inductance and capacitance and solves parameters across a wide frequency range, capturing frequency dependence, attenuation, and unbalanced geometries single-frequency models miss. For switching surges, harmonics, and EMT interconnection work, that accuracy is required. Is Bergeron good enough for a Ferranti effect study? Yes. The Ferranti effect is steady-state and fundamental frequency, and Bergeron computes parameters exactly at the specified power frequency. Trustworthy results, faster solve. Why must the T-line interface name match the segment name? PSCAD links interfaces to the segment by name, not position. A mismatch breaks the connection entirely. How does tower geometry affect results? Directly. Conductor spacing and height set series inductance and shunt capacitance for every phase, which determines surge impedance and charging current. How long before a traveling wave model is appropriate? At a 50 microsecond time step, lines beyond roughly 15 kilometers are good candidates for Bergeron or frequency-dependent models. 5 more questions. What are the 3 model types and how do I choose? PI sections are lumped and fundamental only for very short lines. Bergeron is distributed and single frequency suited to load flow and power frequency overvoltages. Frequency-dependent phase solves at many frequencies and is the default for broadband or transient work. Match the model to the phenomenon. Do I always need a tower cross-section? Not for every case. With Bergeron, you can substitute manual impedance and admittance data if you have the line constants. For geometry-driven studies, the actual tower cross-section is the more rigorous approach. What is the difference between a T-line and a cable segment? T-line is for overhead lines, cable is for underground or submarine cables. Cables have far higher capacitance per unit length, so Ferranti rise appears at much shorter distances. How should I configure the source for a no-load validation? Use an ideal or infinite bus set to the study voltage and frequency. Holding the sending end voltage firm isolates what the line does to the open receiving end. Should I model at 50 or 60 Hz? Use the system frequency of the network. 60 Hz across North America, 50 Hz across much of Europe and Asia. For a Bergeron model, all parameters compute at that one frequency, so match the actual operating frequency. Let's close out on why line model choice decides your entire study. A transmission line is never just an impedance between 2 buses. It's a distributed network of inductance, capacitance, and resistance that changes with frequency, geometry, and length. choose the wrong model, and you miss the exact traveling wave behavior that drives switching surges and overvoltages. PSCAD gives you 3 options, and they're not interchangeable. PI sections are fundamental frequency only, reserved for very short lines. Bergeron is a distributed traveling wave model, but still single frequency, which makes it ideal for load flow and power frequency checks. The frequency-dependent phase model solves across a wide frequency band and is PSCAD's own recommended default for any new study. Getting the model type right isn't enough, though. Tower geometry sets the actual physics, since conductor spacing and height directly determine inductance and capacitance. 2 lines of identical length with different geometry simply won't behave the same. Once built, the classic validation is the Ferranti effect. With the receiving end open, the line's capacitance draws charging current through its inductance, and the receiving end voltage rises above the sending end. That single check drives real decisions, from shunt reactor sizing to insulation coordination. If your project needs transmission line modeling or interconnection grade EMT analysis, Keentel Engineering can help. Visit keentelengineering.com. Thanks for watching.